So we have Miss Rich that's just joined us. I think everyone knows her for her fabulous glass slippers. I call them Cinderella slippers. I actually own a couple of pair. It's probably time for me to get a new pair. But we want to just join her on the line.
Sorry, I'm like on vacation right now, so I'm just gonna.
Where are you? I saw your Instagram picture.
I'm outside of Los Angeles right now, like a little bit, like 2 hours out.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're trying to vacation on us. Well, you know what? In all of this, I encourage people to staycation somewhere nearby, go to a place fabulous and just pretend that this is not happening. We're going to listen to Dr. Nita and keep on our mask. Still enjoy yourself as much as you can safely, obviously.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so
I've
much.
been following you for so long on Instagram. When your shoes came out, I was like, you know what? This is so smart. If your shoes are clear, you can wear it with anything.
Yeah, that's kind of how the whole mindset was. Yeah.
I was like,
you know
I was like, this is great. So yeah, everyone,
this
is Miss Jessica Rich. And like I said, she's a television personality, social media influencer, of course, the designer of Jessica Rich. Jessica, we have a couple of questions that were submitted. So we're going to jump right into it. So,
okay.
So your first question from the audience was, how did you become a designer? And did you know you always wanted to be a designer?
How did I become a designer?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I definitely never wanted to be a designer. That definitely was never my goal. It came out of the left field. Honestly, I started doing PR and marketing after the reality TV shows and all that. I just, had a really strong network of people around me, and people used to notice that, like different brands would notice that, and they'd be like, Jessica, can you just give this like item of mine to like your friend or this person, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're my friends, they'll definitely promote you because you're my friend, I'm giving them stuff, but at the same time I need to get paid for it because I can't just do it for free, and it's just like going to be beneficial to me. So I started charging people, and then it turned into me just be having like a couple clients that I did this for, and for me at the time I was just doing it for fun, like didn't think anything of it, never wanted to open a store. Then we fast forward like 2 years after, like, and there was like, okay, Jess, we really have to continue PR in your brand. Like, dang, whatever, like, check though. Like, I'm like, just like, what I got, frustrated with that. Like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and start giving my own product to these people. And that's where Jessica Rich Collection was birthed. Basically, I just started buying and selling clothing from downtown, and then that turned into like me designing clothing. Because, I would put something on, like, let's just say, like, a celebrity, and then people would be like, oh, well, I have that same item also. So then I was like, okay, let me stop doing that. Let's start designing. Designing turned into 2 years of clothing designs, went really, really well. And then someone gave me the idea to do shoes just as another way of making money. And I literally, like, made that one Cinderella, like, see-through pump, and it went viral. And I was like, okay, and here we are, like, 3 years later.
Here we are. So, and so how many years?
Yeah.
So from clothing to shoes, it's been 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, so clothing was 15, and now shoes started in 17, like middle of 17. Yeah.
Right. So you just never know how one thing, I mean, you were just, like you said, you were doing like PR, branding, marketing, sending out products to kind of like celebrity friends, and it just snowballs. So you just never know where God will lead you with everything.
Right.
So we have a couple of people on the line that are inspiring entrepreneurs. And I said, it really doesn't matter. It could be shoes, it could be makeup, it could be a digital product. It really doesn't matter.
Right.
Entrepreneur is an entrepreneur. What is the best thing about being an entrepreneur, and what is the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur?
I would say the best thing is just now. I can't say this in the first like 1 year, but I'd say now, just waking up and just being wherever I want to be, whenever I want to be, and just like having the business still run itself. I did all the groundwork, and it's still not where obviously I want to be like huge, like Chanel one day, but just working for yourself and not answering to anyone, and, just going hard, because I feel like we have one life. And if you always want to wonder, like, what if I could do this, or what if I left my job, just do it. Venture out, try it. The worst you can always do is go back to a 9-to-5. You know what I mean? But I'm so about being an entrepreneur and just being self-made, because I just feel like we all hide behind someone else's dreams and not push our own,
Absolutely.
That's the best thing.
That sounds it.
But the worst thing about being an entrepreneur?
That was the hardest part.
Yeah, the hardest part of being an entrepreneur is like making it all continue to run. Like, you can literally have one really like large streak, like for me, like, okay, I'm like in the middle of a pandemic and I'm like, oh my God, like September, like
You're losing you a little bit.
placements and like our carpet, everything closed out. What am I going to do this? Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
So you were saying that in September, like things were happening that COVID and over at carpet events. So
right. So being a shoe designer, we need constant placements, you know, because you're only as good as your last placement, they always say. For me, I don't really agree with that, but at the same time, in this world that we're living in, social media, they're like, okay, well, you haven't had a placement since like last year. So the fact that I was able to still manipulate, you know, not manipulate, but get these placements together in the middle of COVID was a big deal for my brand, because otherwise I would have just been sitting here, you know, kind of dead for a year, and that's not good for branding. So I would say keeping the brand afloat is the hardest thing. Getting to where you are and then keeping it there is really hard.
It's funny that you said that, because I actually wanted to go to your physical store in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Like dying. So first of all, her store is just beautiful. It has like these beautiful shoes, like
Thank
dangling
you.
from the ceiling. Like the layout is like so dope. So I was like, I'm going there to buy some shoes, but I'm going in there to take some pictures too, because it's so dope. But it was like right at the beginning of COVID, and I was like, I bet she's closed. And I sent you a comment. You wrote me back. You were like, yeah, we're only doing online orders. And I'm thinking, oh, you know, COVID, it'll probably be over with in a couple of weeks, whatever. And I really thought events were going to still happen in a couple of weeks. And I was like dying to get your shoes. And then I would go online and it wouldn't be my size. And I was like, do you have any extra shoes just like laying around I can pick up? So yeah, just products and entrepreneurs having products and services. You've had to pivot, as you mentioned, just in the COVID. So no one, when you're your own boss, no one's going to tell you what to do. If you're not doing it yourself, then it doesn't happen, you know? So
no, it does not happen.
You're in charge of yourself. So I think, as much as I think everybody would like to be an entrepreneur at some level, I don't think it's for everybody. I think some people,
it's not. It's not. You know, it comes down. No, it goes down. It comes down to like little things. Like sometimes I have to tell my staff there's certain things, and I'm just like, you guys, I've really told you guys this like 5 times at this point. Like, if I was working for someone, I would have been fired a long time ago. Like, I don't think you know what it takes. Like, you guys tell me the simple things right. Being an entrepreneur is so much harder. Like, running the business is like, and it's crazy. When I wake up, I'm like, yo, how do I deal with this stuff? Like, I have a team, obviously, but the main things, like the design aspect, is up to me. Like, people buy my shoes because they like them. So to me, I have to continue to be creative and figure out what's the next hot thing, because people depend on you for that. And that gets a little frustrating, actually. It gets a little like, okay, clear, I've done enough clear, what's next? But I'm on to a new trend, and I really, really feel strong about it. So stay tuned for the next trend.
Okay. I read your bio at the top. I told them about the clear, obviously the Cinderella line. And then I talked to them about this. You had like a sneaker line, right?
Yes.
With the gold bottoms, because I know a lot of people. And at first it's funny because she launched the. I'm like, is a girl shoe gonna come out? You're like, yeah, it's coming, you know. So, right. Yeah. So
and I never put it out. I put it out. I didn't really put it out. I don't know what it was. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait on this and do another girl shoe.
Yeah. I love the gold. I love the clear. So yeah, we're excited to see what you're getting ready to plug next. She's just rich on all the platforms, so follow her.
Thank you.
One last question. What is the best piece of advice you can give a person trying to create a fashion brand, or any brand that sells a product? I mean, you can speak from the fashion perspective because obviously that's where you are, but like.
Right. No, I just think with any product, like anyone wanting to start their own brand, the best thing I would say is just go for it. Don't listen to anyone who says, oh, you don't have enough funds for it, or you need to have a huge, like, you know, investor, or even if it's a product, you're not, even if it's just one piece, just start. I think, you know, me being hesitant, even when I started my line, I'm like, I have this one shoe here and I don't know if people are gonna like it. And like to this day, it's always sold out. And I'm just like,
yes, I know. So I try to go online and get it. And I'm like, oh my God.
Which one do you want?
No, you do whole sizes, right? So like I'm supposed to get a 9. I need a 9.
Okay.
I need a 9.
You want a 9. Okay, 39, which one? The Cinderella pump?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I'll send you a code, and then I had a shipment that just came in, and I'll give someone else in New York.
I will email you for that. Thank you, because I was like, every time I get on here, I'm like, it's never gonna be any guys. Like I feel like that's like a popular size, like 8 and 9.
That's a very popular size. Yes. Yeah, it's surprising. 38, 39, all up to 42 is a very popular sizes. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, we know that is a popular size because of that. I guess the only other question would be, I know you can't tell us about what you're working on right now in terms of the next time. You have to kind of stay tuned. Is there anything else you want to tell us? Any like feature? You're getting ready to be featured on a show, press? Is there a charity you work with? Anything you want to just drop before we let you go?
No, totally. I have a new clothing line I'm starting again. And I wasn't gonna start clothing again, but I am dropping clothing again, which it's supposed to be out August 1st. It's a line that I've noticed that after like being a designer and just being workaholic mode, I'm just like not a dress up person anymore. Okay. So it's gonna be like a basic line, and it's something that girls always say, like, Jess, you know, I see you wearing this, but I can't find it. Where'd you get it? And I'm like, you know what? I'm sick of telling people I got it. I'm just gonna make my own stuff like this. You know what I mean?
So how do you transition? Because I mean, is it much different? I mean, it's one thing to go after a manufacturer for a shoe, but to do clothes, I mean, are some of these same manufacturers, do they kind of like refer you like, hey, you can go with this person for your clothes? Like, how do you transition from a shoe to actual clothes that you're wearing?
Right. No, it's very easy. I luckily have a lot of connects here, and I have a girl in LA that's been like really wanting to work with me for a while. So Jessica, if you ever do clothes again, please let me manufacture stuff. She manufactures everything for like Fashion Nova. So she's really, really well, like super fast. So I literally put the line, I put it together in like a day. Like I said, I want to do this, 10 colors, these 3 pieces. Here's the samples of patterns. I figured out the name, and it's a really simple name. I have everything done. So it's like, it's going to start with just a couple pieces to start, see how it goes and go from there. But no, honestly, if you don't even have a connect, you really just like Google Clothing Factory Los Angeles, and you have a list of like all these ones that come up. Call them, figure out like who can work with their minimums. Like a lot of people have high minimums. I'm someone who likes low minimums. I want to test the market first. And then if it's a hit, then I'll go and produce a lot, you know? So you just call around and figure out who is the best for you. And as far as like what you want, like even what I'm doing, people have seen it before, but they haven't seen it in the colors I'm producing it in. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's something that like I love wearing that, but I can't wear that every day. So if I wear it in this color, I think girls would like it. So it's just something that's basic, almost like a fancy stiletto, like basics, you know? Like, you know who inspired me also is Skims. And when she was doing Skims and it came out, I'm like, I already had this idea for a basic line, but when she came out with the beige colors, the basic colors.
Very basic.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna keep it to that, and I'm not a basic person, so it's kind of a different thing for me to do. So I'm never basic. I'm not into like basic stuff. I like making statements. So
Kim's line, you know, from her makeup to her Skims to her perfume, she has a what I call, she has a system. Yeah. And so all she does is take that system and she just keeps applying it.
Right.
Across the board. She knows what works. She knows what doesn't work. Obviously, building her fan base through her reality show obviously helps. I mean, you were on TV. That helps with your brand. I mean, what if someone has, I think you just dropped a gem. Start off with just a few things. Don't come out with, I'm also guilty of that. I'm like, I have 100 things that I can launch. And it's like, okay, you're going to overwhelm. You're going to overwhelm your consumer. Don't come out with like 10 tops, 30, 40, like 50 shoes. Like they don't even know what to choose from. They don't. With the Legally Fab brand, I have a very small limited collection where I feature different designers, different things. And I literally do like, just like top 5 or top 10, and I switch them out from season to season so I don't overwhelm people. Even the jacket I have on, you know, it's colored.
It's cute. I like that color.
Thank you. It's called Lawn Color. It's on legallyfab.com. You can actually buy it.
I'll check it out.
But again, I had to learn that because I was overwhelming people. It was just too much stuff on the website. I had to like purge it. So yeah, I think you just dropped a gem. If you're trying to come out with a product, design, whatever, partnering with someone to make something, just test the market and see what works. I mean, you didn't know anything. Yeah. You didn't know that the glass slipper, as simple as it was, would be such a hit. So, you know, you took that momentum and you kept going, and you didn't wait. Like, you were like, this is my idea. Because guess what? Yeah. The glass slipper didn't work. You just would have moved on to something else. Like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't work.
But you know, it was more so, it was a glass slipper, but it was more so the clear trend that was there, but it wasn't huge yet. It was only a couple of styles. So when I saw that being popular, I'm like, you know what? If I just stick to clear, and that's kind of what it was. It was called Transparent by Jessica Rich. I'm not going to think of everything. I'm just going to do clear everything. Mm-hmm. That way I'm not competing with this person, I'm not competing with this brand. It's just all clear. And that's kind of what it was as well. So my first year of design, we're all clear. I think that's kind of why I got big, because it was just, okay, let's do a shoot. Let's go to Jessica Rich, you know? Yeah,
just hammer in like 1 or 2 things. I agree. And because now, like you said, you'll see that shoe. We see that shoe. Right. It's so funny. Here's the thing. I know when it's not your shoe. I'll be like, that is not Jessica's shoe. Sometimes people try to I'm like, this is not Jessica's shoe. These people are trying to copy off her. But it's so funny. You have a very signature design. So when I see it like, you know, on Cardi B, or if I see it on the Kardashians or whatever, like I know it's your shoe. Even if it gets a tag, I'm like, that's Jessica's shoe. I know that's Jessica's shoe. But sometimes people will try to do these. It's fine for people to whatever, do what they want to do and be inspired by you. But I find it so funny where people are like, are these Jessica's shoes? I'm like, nope, that's not Jessica's shoes.
You can tell. It's a big difference.
Yeah. Anyone do it. I think people just assume because it's transparent now, it's you. So it has to be you. Right. But in a way that's excellent that people automatically associate like this one thing with you. And again, that's what allowed you to counterfold. So
yeah, no, it's so true. Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah. So like I said, a lot of people are excited to hear from you on the call. Like I said, those were the questions.
Oh, thank you.
Submitted. Like people are super excited to see what we're doing next. People obviously, I mean, you're a social media influencer beyond your shoes, just like your lifestyle. Like you're doing your call from like your mini vacay outside of LA. Girl, I'm not mad at you. I had a place in Malibu for a whole week. And I did not want to.
Nice.
I told this lady, I was like, I may become a spotter. I may just like stay here for a while, just waking.
I'm just staying here the rest of the week.
I know, waking up to the ocean, and I just want to piggyback. Being an entrepreneur, you can be wherever you want. You can work for wherever you want. And if you have something that you can mail out, whether it be virtual or physical, you know, your money doesn't stop regardless of what's going on. And I think that's what I would like to close out with you on. Just having a hustle that's disaster proof, right? Like, can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, having a hustle that's disaster proof. I mean, it's very important to build a good foundation for that, because even in COVID, we did notice like a little drop in sales right in the beginning of March. But in the midst of that, we transitioned to dropping my ebook on how to sustain a business or how to create a business. That was another way of making money. Then I dropped the mask line, which I never thought I would do, but I did that because it was a pandemic. It's like, you know, we were still figuring out other ways to, you know, incorporate this fund, you know, and I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, let's just try it. I don't know, it's cool. Once you're in the business world, you'll kind of get used to it. You know, you'll know when to run sales. You'll know when to make a larger sale. You know when to like do different things that other vendors are doing. Because one thing I don't like doing is being on sale too much. But during this time, I feel like it's been very important just to give the customer what they want. They want to purchase, but they want to just save money. So let's just meet them halfway. You know what I mean? And at the same time, this Black Lives Matter thing was such a big impact on me myself as a designer as well, because I've always been super afraid to not say that I'm a Black designer, but really put out there like a lot of Black females on my Instagram page. I got a lot of backlash sometimes, like, Jessica, why don't you use Black girls? And I'm just like, I do once in a while, but I'm also trying to be a certain way, and I feel like it's scary to put that you're African American out there because people typecast you in a certain direction. And now it's like, no, everyone's hitting me up. Oh my God, we know you're Black. I'm like, really? Oh my God, well, let me know.
Like that.
What can we do now? You know?
Well, you know, now it's like, to be Black is cool, and now everybody wants to reach out to the Black designer or the Black Black. Someone reached out to me today. You know, we're doing this show and we're looking, you know, we really want Black women to apply. And it's like, I know what you're doing.
Now you do.
Now you want the Black women to apply.
Where have you been?
Where have you been all my life? Exactly.
Please. But it's cool. It's like, if this is how it's going to stay, I love it. Because it's crazy. I didn't personally march in any of the marches. People were really like, why didn't you march? But I was just trying to be safety and things like that. But when I seen all the, you know, when I see, because I just got over COVID myself, I didn't get it from marching, obviously, but I don't know how I got it. But either way, I mean, it's a scary thing. But, you know, the white people saying Black Lives Matter was like, I was crying. I'm like, I've never in my life thought I'd see a white person say Black Lives Matter. Like, this is amazing, you know? And we've always mattered. What are you talking about? We are the world.
And when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not saying no one else matters. We're just saying because we're being treated poorly right now, we're focusing on the people that are not being treated well. So it's not that, you know, no one else matters. We're just focusing on, just like if for some reason all Asians were being killed, and focusing on them. So yeah, a lot of people have that disconnect. And girl, you know, on Instagram, I get so tired of explaining myself. But anyway,
it's too much.
You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. I cannot wait to have something in the future, like a retreat where I could invite people out and actually
do it.
In the meantime, enjoy your vacation. I will hit you up with that.
Thank you.
Shoes and everybody say goodbye to Jessica. You can feel free to stay on for a few more minutes if you want to listen to our last panelist, Felicia, and we'll go from there. Okay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
We learned so much.
Good luck,
Thank
everyone.
you so much. Take care.